What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Cyrus Obsidian here at Obsidian Games, here to bring you another episode of Local Diaries. So let us swing right on in. So for today's locals, we are going to run back with a deck that we had played only once on this channel. And the version that we played was a version that we were testing out just to see how much we would like it. We didn't like it because at the time, the Bystials weren't as huge of a threat. They are so now. The Millennium Engine also wasn't the best seen in this deck, but we decided to put our head together and we came up with a version that I think is solid for Centurion, which is a Centurion Super Heavy Samurai Fiendsmith version. And I know we're probably all sick and tired of seeing Fiendsmith splash into every deck, but this is just super cohesive how well this works, to be honest. I saw this Super Heavy Samurai Centurion list top a couple months ago. We decided to tweak it because they were playing a lot of hand traps. We tweaked it a little bit with the Fiendsmith engine to just kind of give us a secondary engine, which in total, we have 3 engines in this deck. So we're hoping that we don't have a repeat of what happened last time with the Bystial Millennium Centurion version. And at this time, we see greater success with the Fiendsmith Super Heavy Samurai version. Now, enough yapping. Let me show you the deck list, and then we're going to head to locals to see how well we can do. All right, so I am super excited to rerun this. Not rerun this specific version, but rerun Centurion, of course. And to start off with Centurion, we are playing 3 copies of Centurion Primera, 3 copies of Centurion Trudea, 1 Centurion Gargoyle, and 1 Centurion Autry. So I think as far as monsters go, this is as much as you play of the Centurions. I would love for Chimera to be good, but it just unfortunately is not. Rounding out the spells we play for the rest of the Centurion, we are playing 3 copies of Oath, 3 copies of Stand Up Centurion, 1 Wake Up, 1 Bonds, 1 Honorary Bonfire, and then 1 Centurion Phalanx to round out the Centurion engine. You definitely want to maximize on as many copies of Oath and Stand Up as you can. You can play the other emblemas like Emblema Salvation, more copies of Bonds, but I felt like playing just 1 Bonds and then no Salvation I thought was really good because this version wants to control and close out games as quick as possible, especially when going first. Going second, on the other hand, it's a little bit tricky, and that's where I hope some of the non-engine helps us out. But in terms of the Super Heavy Samurai engine, we are playing 3 copies of Super Heavy Samurai Prodigy Wakaushi, 3 copies of Super Heavy Samurai Motorbike, 1 Super Heavy Samurai Monk Big Ben K, and then 1 copy of Super Heavy Samurai Soul Gaia Booster. So honestly, when Baron was a threat, this was like a really big prevalent engine. This engine is super good for this version, especially opening Motorbike and like an Emblema, or even just opening Motorbike gets you into Centurion combo, which is really cool. But this combo also gets you into the next engine, which is Fiendsmith, which we play 3 copies of Engraver, 1 Lacrima, 1 Lurie, and then 2 Tract. You could cut this down a bit because the Super Heavy engine gets you into this, but like if you open Super Heavy and Engraver, open Motorbike and Engraver, you definitely go make the Emblema play and then you go Fiendsmith. So I mean, this is like really cool that this both of these engines complement into getting into Centurion, but also complement it as standalones, which is really awesome. The rest of the deck is non-engine as well. We're playing 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of Fuelos, and then 2 copies of Perulia. I really just wanted to play the draw cards, so that way it forces my opponent to either give me a lot, or it forces them to skip their turn. So I mean, that's what we're really hoping for in terms of this. Definitely am wanting to rethink it later down the line, but opening a Molcharming going first is really good discard fodder for stand-up Centurion, so I'm okay with it. Whereas opening an Ash was just okay. Moving to the extra deck, We were playing one copy of Fiendsmith Lacrima. I really wanted to play Desiree as well, but Desiree just didn't seem to fit very well, and I had to trim I would have had to trim the extra deck, which I feel like a lot of it is necessary. We're playing 2 copies of Centurion Primera Primus. This was definitely a debate whether I should play 1 or 2. I saw a lot of lists playing 2, so I decided to stick with 2 just in case. It hasn't come up so far, but we're on that, like, what if I do need it? So we are playing 1 Crimson, 1 Auxilla. I definitely want to play more than 1 Auxilla, but again, just finding the space for it. Playing 1 Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. This card is so good. Playing 2 copies of Centurion Legatia. I was always so confused looking at lists, seeing why people play 2 copies of it. After testing, I definitely see why people play 2 copies of it. The card is just really good. Making it on opponent's turn, making it on your turn, just being able to clear board, and then you're able to just advance game state in your favor. We are then playing 1 Red Supernova Dragon. I love this card. This card is so fun. We're playing 1 Stardust Cipher Divine Dragon and then 1 Cosmic Blazar. Typically, you'd play a second Blazar. I've been playing the Cipher because I don't have a second Blazar. But also, I like the protection it provides. In a meta where people are Raigecking like crazy, Lightning Storm, I just felt like Cipher was just a really good choice. Also, the fact that, you know, when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can negate, destroy a card on the field. I thought that's also really good. We play 2 Exceeds, 1 Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, and 1 DDD Wave High King Caesar. With the fact that Moon is gone, Exciton is our bridge into Centurion, or into the Fiendsmith engine, because Superheavy Samurai can make Exciton and then go into Requiem, and then we can go into Sequence to fuse into Desiree. So I mean, like, it's really good how this deck just meshes and just flows so well together when you get the right hands, right? Because it's all subject to having that right hand. And then, yeah, this is the DDD Wave High King Caesar, is definitely the end board piece. I wanted to play SP, I wanted to play IP. There was just a ton of things that I wanted to play that we had played in the Millennium Bestial version. But I just feel like, so far in testing again, this one is just better. Now, the side deck is a work in progress, but this is what I decided to go for today. Playing 2 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being with 3 copies of Droll and then 2 copies of Ghost Spell. If any of one of the 2 engines need to come out, we're going to put in like more hand traps, so that way we can just solidify like controlling the board state a little bit, and then hope and pray that we see enough engine when going second. As well, you know, we also are playing like a board breaker approach to try and control it with 1 Duster and 3 Lightning Storm with 2 talents or 2 thrusts. And then with the thrust, we also complement it with 1 Black Goat and then 1 Different Dimension Ground, since Centurion can play around Different Dimension Ground, because Auxilla is able to grab from the Banishment, if I remember right. It might be Legatia, but I know one of the 2 is able to grab from the Banisher Graveyard, which is Auxilla. Yeah. But this is my list. We're going to take it to locals and see if we are able to stir up the storm with non-meta deck.
What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Cyrus Obsidian here. We are at Duke City Games. We just got done with round 2. There's 5 minutes left on time. So round 1, we play against Branded Drickentail. And honestly, just the resilience that deck has is just so crazy that, like, bricking is not good. We weren't able to full combo. He was able to, like, we went into a grind state at one point where just like game 1, he was just more grindier. Game 2, we outgrinded with the Fiendsmith, which was cool. We saw the Fiendsmith engine. Game 3, Fenrir was the end all be all. Like, if I saw more board breakers, we could have maybe broken the board. But considering our only board breakers are Lightning Storm, Thrust, and Duster, there wasn't anything we were going to do against a Fenrir that was, you know, in a defense position. So we lose there. Round 2, we play against Pure Mitsu. Let's just say Pure Mitsu had it all. Game 1, we forgot to activate Primera's effect on summon because we pen summoned, seeing the Superheavy engine. We pen summoned out 2 Perulias and the Primera, but totally forgot to activate its effect, the search. Had we, that would have changed the course of the game a little bit because we would have made Auxilla, Crimson, into Blazar, and then Red Supernova on his turn, but spaced it. Game 2, we went first again. He drolled us. Thankfully, we opened up Lacrima, and we're going into the full Superheavy package, but since we motorbike, searched Wakaushi, he drolled. I went Wakaushi to scale summon, he impulsed. We normal Lacrima, and we were able to make Wave King Caesar and just pass, which Wave King Caesar was kind of enough, but he even lead, and then made Typhon. He could have done different play, but he felt that was just the safer route. And we bounced the Wave King, and I thought about making Wave King again, but just didn't have the resources to do it on my turn. We would have had to have sacrificed the Centurion stuff, which was losing out on Blazar and Legatia, because we wanted to make Auxilla, but Auxilla just wasn't going to be the correct call since Typhon was still on the board. So anyways, we lose from there because Mitsu it's Mitsu. So take another L. We're X2, 2 more rounds. So we have a chance still to not end the night X4. So round 3, we played again, stunned. This time we weren't able to pull through. Game 1, he went first, and we just had he made Majesties, and that was over, or Vanities. The one that doesn't let me special summon. My entire hand was special summon. So we go scoop game, we go game 2. Game 2 we full combo, so like he wasn't doing anything against that. Game 3 was such a back and forth, but he opened DeFi, and I tried so hard to outgrind, but Unicorn, being able to rip out my stuff from the extra deck, DeFi showing off Fiendsmith, because I had spells engraved, I couldn't use the Super Heavy Samurai, and then banishing my stuff face down with Fenrir too. And then getting rid of Auxilla just sucked, because I don't play any of the emblemas to recycle from banishment. And so everything that was banished, and I lost all my non-tuners. I lost them all. All the non-tuners. Sucked. So I ended up losing. That really sucks. Really sucks. So we're X3. I may have jinxed myself here. Last and final round, we play against Yamimitsu. I think that's all that just needs to be said. Game 1, he wins die roll, goes first. He just sets up board we can't break. Game 2, we set up board, he can't break. Then game 3, I just bricked on double droll, Trudea, Emblema, Bonfire. Yeah. He asked my, not the Trudea, the other Centurion, Primera, and that was game over. Game over. Couldn't do anything from there. So take a resounding L. Going X4. I jinxed myself. I did it. I jinxed myself. I still had fun playing the deck, if I'm going to be honest. When it popped off, and it was super cool. It's like we full comboed, and it was just insane. It was insane. And you know, Wave King, Cosmic, Auxilla, ability to make something else on his turn with Crimson, going into Red Supernova, Hyperion, or Cypher, sorry, not Hyperion. Yeah, I had fun. I definitely had fun. The deck is fun. Not the best, but it's fun. That's it for this local diaries, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys would like to see next. There will be no video Friday for Friday locals. Avatar is kind of taking over for Magic the Gathering, so we won't have that. But we do have an OTS Tour Championship that we will be playing in. We've already got a deck cooked up, and so we'll see what we place. That's it. We'll pass it over to you.